Hi everyone, my name is Vinay and I create short videos to review post-graduation courses at universities across the globe which have good prospects but are not necessarily IM or Ivy League type colleges. In simple terms, इसका ये मतलब है कि हम हर हफ्ते ऐसे कोर्सेज को एनालाइज करेंगे जो ज़्यादा लाइमलाइट में तो नहीं है पर इनका करिकुलम और प्लेसमेंट्स कोई भी टॉप मोस्ट कॉलेज से कम भी नहीं है. Having said that, let's get started. Today we'll be analyzing MS in Business Analytics and Information Management at Purdue University, popularly known as MS BAME at Purdue University. I'll start with 6 key takeaways of my analysis, followed by detailed analysis which will focus on 4 sections. The first section will be all about Indian students' ka placements and before and after ka journey. The second section will be about basic information of this course facts kya hai. Third section will focus about positives and limitations of this course. And the final section will be my final verdict about this course. So having said that, let's look at the key takeaways of this course. Number 1 takeaway. The course prefers people with analytics or data background. So it's important that you have this analytics experience to be considered for this course. Key takeaway 2. The course generally demands an average GMAT of 677 and average work ex of 3 years as seen with the class of 2020. Takeaway number 3, 97% of the class of 2020 were placed within 6 months of graduation. Yes, despite a pandemic year, achieving this is fantastic. Takeaway number 4, average base salaries were $97,000 and $24,000 bonus for those who received it. Takeaway number 5. There were 80 students in the class of 2020, of which 58 were Indian students. Per my research on the LinkedIn profile, 56 of these 58 students have full-time offers from the class of 2020. Takeaway number 6. This is a STEM degree program. In simple terms, it means that you get 36 months to find a job and work in the US. If this was not a STEM course, you would have had only 1 year to do this. So these were the key takeaways. Now let's look at the detailed analysis, starting with the section of Indian students. अब आपके screen पे ये है कि Indian students before joining this course, what were their backgrounds? If you look at the chart on the left hand side, 30% of the people were from IITs or NITs, which means that 70% came from tier 1 to tier 3 engineering colleges when I researched the LinkedIn profiles. इसका सिंपल मतलब ये है कि घबराना नहीं है, सबका इक्वल चांस है यहाँ पे. ऐसा मत सोचो कि मैं इस कॉलेज से नहीं हूँ तो मेरा चांस नहीं बनता है यहाँ. सबका इक्वल चांस है इस कॉलेज में. Now let's shift our attention towards the right hand side of the screen. You would see that most of these students had profiles such as data and business analysts, decision scientists, IT analytics consultants, and interestingly some of them even had product management background. Now when I crunched their numbers, looking at their LinkedIn profiles, put them in Excel, I observed that the average work ex of Indian students was about 3.5 years and most of them were from IT companies. दूसरी बात जो काफ़ी interesting है, 20% of the Indian students had 5 or more years of work experience. Some of them even had 7 or 9 years of experience, which tells me that the admissions committee is open to people with higher work ex as well until they had relevant work ex. The third interesting fact for me here was that non-IT engineers were found in abundance here. So if you had metallurgy, mining, chemical, electrical, mechanical backgrounds, you still could make it to this course with, again, relevant work ex. So that's a little bit about Indian students' background. Now let's look at how Indian students fared after the course. In simple words, Indian students ने फोड़ दिया. भाई अगर पाई चार्ट देखा जाए आपके लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे, you would see that tech sector had employed 43% of the Indian students. Most amazing fact being that 11 of the 58 students who got placed went to Amazon in the profiles of business intelligence engineer and program managers. Highly impressive. The second fact, if you look at the pie chart, you would see that 19% of the people made it to financial services sector. I saw prestigious names such as Barclays, Deutsche, Citi being present there and had employed Indian students. Other sectors such as consumer goods and consulting also, employed Indian students, and you would see prestigious names such as Nestle, CVS, Petco in consumer goods and retail. And in the consulting sector, you would see names such as McKinsey, Ernst & Young, Guidehouse, ZS. The other interesting fact for me was that more than 40% of the students were placed in big cities such as New York, Chicago, San Francisco. Very impressive, but if you look at the right hand side of the screen, you must observe that many of these profiles that Indian students got after this course were again data or business analysts or decision scientists or business intelligence engineers, very analytics oriented, and some of them even made it to product management if they had product management experience in the past. So having said all this, I think if you want to find out more details of where Indian students went to for all the 56 students who were offered full-time offers, please refer to the comment section, because I looked at each of their LinkedIn profiles and actually made a note of it. So that's a wrap on the first section of Indian students. अब कहोगे तुम भैया आपने तो बता दिया प्लेसमेंट्स होता कैसे है, बट आपने तो ये नहीं बताया कोर्स किसके बारे में है, इसका एडमिशन क्राइटेरिया क्या है, कितना हमें पैसे भरना पड़ेगा इसके लिए, एक्सेट्रा. So now let's look at them one by one. Firstly, Purdue is located in West Lafayette, Indiana State, in the Midwest of United States of America. This course is offered at the Krannert School of Management, which is the business school at Purdue University. The course is for people who have inclination to data with a business management flavor. You could expect to gain proficiency in R, SQL, Girobi, Minitab, big data technologies by the time you graduate from this course. Now, having said that, the course duration is about 11 months, and it will start on June 16, 2022 for next fall. The course fees for international students is about $50,400 as of today. Now, when you look at the admission criteria, I won't get into the depths because it is very typical of most of the MS courses in US, and you can check the links below again to go directly to the link for this particular course. However, two things I'll point out. पहला तो ये है कि भाई यहाँ पे GMAT is preferred over GRE. This is my assumption based on the fact that the course is being held in the business school, and they are advertising or positioning basically the average GMATs of the class of 2020. The next thing I would say is there's a video essay which will test you on your personality traits and skills with 3 to 5 questions. So हो सकता है थोड़ा सा preparation कर लो उसके बारे में पहले से ही, but you really can't predict what you would be asked. Now you would also ask me कि भाई इसमें scholarships है क्या? पहली बात तो scholarships है, but how much do we get? I don't know that exact amount, and it's not mentioned anywhere on their websites. However, on the website it's mentioned that you don't have to separately apply for the scholarship. It is considered as part of your application for admissions itself. Their website also boasts of the fact that there are assistantship opportunities available as well. That's basic information about this course. Now let's look at the third section, positives and limitations of this course. The first positive that I see is a great brand on your CV. Purdue is a very well respected name, especially in the engineering circles. Yes, it's not in the league of Yale, Berkeley, or Stanford in some people's perspective, but it's definitely a prestigious name. The second positive that I see is the course in itself, business analytics and information management, is growing in demand across sectors. Businesses these days are highly driven by data-based decisions and insights, and senior executives are leaning more and more on data-driven insights. So the demand for your skills are only going to grow in the future. Number 3 positive that I see out of this, which I mentioned earlier, is this is a STEM certified course, which means you get a chance to work in the US for 36 months. In the meanwhile, you could apply for your H-1B lottery 3 times, and let's hope that in 3 times you get lucky at least once. Finally, I think another positive which is very important is the payback period of your loan may only be 1.5 to 2.5 years. The reason I say this is, let's do a guesstimate. Simple सा. अब ये मेरे पास exact science तो नहीं है, but I'm just using some high level numbers. If you get an average salary of $96,000 in Chicago, on an annual basis. Your gross salary on a monthly basis will be around $8,000. अगर आप taxes, medical insurance और ये सब हटा दो तो शायद आपको 5,000 to 5,500 हाथ में मिल जाए. Social security भी कटता नहीं है because you're on a OPT basically, so they don't cut social security. So out of 5,000 to 5,500 US dollars, if you contribute about 1,500 to 2,000 US dollars towards your education loan, मेरे हिसाब से आपका 1.5 to 2.5 years में खत्म हो जाना चाहिए वो loan. Totally depends on your personal lifestyle and point of view. So those are the positives of this course. अब देखते हैं limitations of this course क्या है. पहली बात तो इसका location जो है थोड़ा सा it's not like a big city kind of location. It's not in Manhattan or New York or in the Silicon Valleys of the San Francisco Bay Area, right? So some people might say employers may not have as much accessibility. And also it's a personal choice again whether you want to be studying in those happening cities or you're okay with a quieter setup. The second limitation, which for me is more important for students, is if you had an analytics background before joining this course and your hope is to make it to something like investment banking, sales and marketing strategy, etc., तो भैया ये कोर्स आपके लिए नहीं है. उसके लिए आपको करना पड़ेगा MBA या कोई specialized course. So definitely, this course will take you from analytics to analytics, most likelihood, but you might be changing geographies from, let's say, India to the US. The final limitation, again, this is debatable, is some people consider the course fees to be on the higher end when compared to some of the other universities. So that's a bit about the limitations of this course. Having looked at these three sections, my final verdict, which is the final section, is that I find this course to be very undervalued in today's context. What I mean by that is it gives you very high returns, that it almost gives you, a surety of finding a job and with the investment that you make, and you come out with very high demand analytics skills and a job in the US. So I think the admissions criteria is only going to get more competitive over the years. I think it's at a good stage where if you are scoring in the range of 660 to 720 in the GMAT, and you have an inclination towards analytics and you want to provide, dig data-driven insights and communicate that to leadership to transform businesses, then this is the course for you. So with all this, that's a wrap on today's video. I hope you like, share and subscribe to the channel, and feel free to leave any comments that you may have. My name is Vinay. I thank you for watching the video, and I will definitely see you in the next video again.